Hi, my name is Pablo, and I'm here to introduce you to the fantastic world of mind mapping. A mind map is a radial graphic representation of ideas, and it is composed by a central idea, main or primary branches, and secondary or child branches that describe a certain topic and at the same time create hierarchies. Colors and pictures are added to facilitate learning and arrows to create relations between the concepts. To tell you about mind mapping, I want to invite you to make a journey into the past. Close your eyes for 1 second. Now, try to remember your favorite book when you were a child. Try to remember any fun or exciting stories. Now, open your eyes. This is me when I was a kid, and this is El Polilla, my favorite book. And this is me reading the book. It had so many fun stories about El Polilla that kept my attention, and even though I read this book more than 30 years ago, I can still remember the stories of El Polilla when he played football with his friends. I grew older and somebody decided that this is the way that I should learn. Linear text with very little color or images. And even the books look pretty much the same. So I got tired and my brain got overwhelmed. Learning was not the same. Why did I get tired and overwhelmed? We need to look into the principles of cognitive learning theory to better understand this. When you're learning new information, your sensory receives it, and then your working memory codes this information and adds to pre-existing schemas that are not linear, they are organic, like a mind map, and those schemas are stored in your long-term memory. You might be asking yourself, if my brain is already creating these schemas or mind maps, why should I use a mind map format to learn? And this is why. When you're learning using linear methods or monochromatic methods, the information goes to your sensory. And then your working memory is going to process it, yes, but it's going to have a hard time processing it and transferring into the long-term memory. In theory, it's different when you're learning using a mind map format. In this case, your sensor is transferring this, your working memory is having a much easier, much efficient and effective time adding this information into pre-existing schemas and transferring it to the long-term memory. We don't know who came with this idea of presenting information in an organic way, but we do know that the first documented mind maps or concept maps were one from the 3rd century by Porphyry of Tyre, a Greek philosopher that used this to teach Aristotle teachings, and Isaac Newton as well, that used concept maps techniques. Later on, Professor Tony Buzan was the one that branded the name of mind mapping and developed some of the basic principles of how to create a mind map. I started using mind maps when I was in medical school, and it helped me to be efficient and effective in my learning, and I had a lot of fun. But it also freed up time so that I can do other things that I was very passionate about, like playing squash. Then I went into residency and I wanted to learn how to teach mind maps and how to apply them into healthcare education. So I started looking into the evidence behind mind maps, and there's a meta-analysis in 2015 that compared traditional learning methods with mind mapping techniques. And this one found that academic achievement and attitude and retentions were statistically significantly better in the mind mapping group versus the linear group. But it's important to know that each one of the studies included in this meta-analysis used different methods when teaching students how to develop mind maps. So depending on how this was taught, you can end up with a mind map product like this, that yes, organizes the information and uses the basic principles of Tony Buzan, but can still overwhelm your working memory. That is why I strongly believe we should not be moving into trying to show or study if mind maps are better than linear nodes or concept maps. We should be moving into understanding how to effectively apply principles of learning theory when using tools like mind maps or concept maps. I do believe that mind maps can be a very powerful teaching tool if we just learn how to develop them using principles of learning theory. During the last 10 years, I have been developing a technique that combines basic mind mapping principles with cognitive learning theory principles. And I'm going to show you some of these techniques so that you can apply and use it in healthcare education. Thank you for watching this video. As a next step, you're going to watch two different videos. One is going to be about how to use MindMeister, an app that we will use to create the mind maps during the class. And also, you're going to watch another video where I will explain these principles of cognitive learning theory and how to use it when developing a mind map. So don't forget to watch those two videos in preparation. See you soon.